Hey guys, this is Master here to give you a Modern Warfare 2 Pro Tip video about how to be adaptable. To be adaptable in game, you gotta have the right classes for the right situations. For example, a riot shield class won't be doing any good on a big map where there's a lot of snipers in, for example. Here you probably will be using an assault rifle or a sniper rifle yourself. So to be adaptable, you gotta have, like I said, have the right class for the right situations. So in this video, I'm gonna show you off some of my own classes and also about how to make a good gun class for a theoretically situation. So first off, I have my MP5 SD class, and it's basically for running around stealthily with the MP5K, and it's a good one for use for stealth operations, for example in search and destroy. I also got a loud version. The only difference is I'm using a full metal jacket. I'm calling this one MP5 Assault. And now that I mentioned the names of these two classes, you can also see that I got loads of different kinds of names. And the reason why I got these names is that I will be able to easily identify what class is what. For example, if I want to shoot down a Harrier or something, I need my NCR class. I don't have to look to keep in mind that it is the first one. I just always remember that it's the red one and it's where it says AUG, and so yeah, because I'm using the AUG, H-bar, and the Stinger missile. So it's pretty easy to see in that one. But this is basically another thing you want to keep in mind. Name your classes instead of like Epic Owner H class or something. Well, if that makes you remember what gun you have in that class, it's good. But if you're the person who changes your classes all the time, then I really suggest you have names on your classes, so you easily know which class to pick for what map, or if there's a situation change, so you need to adapt to that situation. So like if there is an attack helicopter or chopper gunner in the area, you probably want to switch to your NCR class pretty fast to take it down. So I also got a sniper class. I know a lot of people who know me for a long time know that I usually hate running around with a sniper rifle, and yes, I do also hate it, but I do have a sniper class, and sometimes I do like to snipe, but I'm not the type of guy who just no scope and quick scopes. I'm the guy who hard scopes, and I'm doing it good anyway. And so that's basically my sniper class with the intervention. I got an AK-47 class. Well, because the AK-47 is a kick-ass gun in most situations. Not as good at long distance, but at medium short distance, pretty good. Got my Vector Stealth class. You can see I called them silent, except for the MP5 SD, but that's because there is the silent version of the MP5 is called MP5 SD. But it's basically that I know what gun class is which one. Then I got the Scar H and the UMP45, which I call Runner because I got Marathon on. So you can see that I got a lot of different classes, and you can even see I got different colors on them. And this is also something that helps me out, at least in the beginning when I started using these names and colors, to identify which class was which one. I also got a custom class. Right now I just got the standardized shield on it for this one, and that's because we're gonna create a gun class here. I'm gonna create a gun class where I wanna be stealthy, yet still powerful. So, and I still want some range as well. So I want to use an assault rifle for this situation, because assault rifles are really good all-purpose weapons, just like it says here. For this one, I want to have still a fast-firing weapon, and I also want the reload time to be quite fast. And there is, for example, the F2000. It has a very high fire rate, but it doesn't have as much firepower and accuracy, and even the reload time is actually quite long for an assault rifle, where for example the ACR and the M4 actually has a much shorter reload time. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the M4A1. Like I said, I wanted it to be a stealth class, so I want to use the silencer and blue tagger because it's my favorite camo. Then I want to use as a secondary, I want to make sure that I'm still fast on the battlefield. So that's why I won't use a launcher, because it will make me slower. So I'll use a handgun instead, and I'll use a handgun I'm good with, UMP45. And since it is a stealth class, I could use a silencer, but I always have this little thumb rule that your secondary is your backup weapon, especially if it's the pistol. The pistol is never to be used as your primary, so that's why you should definitely use full metal jacket, extended mags, tactical knife. Um, for example, the tactical knife is very great for close combat because it makes your knife work a lot better. Extended mag is good because you can take down multiple guys with just your pistol, especially if you can hit them from the side or from behind. Sometimes you can even take them down from the front. If you're just about to take down one guy, full metal jacket is definitely the case. And because this is a stealth operation class, then I will be using full metal jacket. It's because if I need to sneak around and it's a backup situation, I will have extra power on my USP. For equipment, I could use any sort of thing, but my own thumb rule, I don't use Centec because it's, in my opinion, overpowered. I could use Tactical Insurgent, but since it is a special operation class, I would like to use C4, and I really also enjoy using C4 anyway. Pretty good with it, and I can throw it far as well. But the C4 also allows me to plant traps, and I can sabotage, like I can throw it and create quite a huge explosion. The Claymore could do the trap thing as well, but the Claymore, the C4 is a lot better. For a special grenade, since it is stealth operation class, I would like to use flash grenade because I will do a lot of damage. If I'm gonna ambush some guys, I'm just gonna throw the flash grenade right in front of them, and they won't be able to see anything. I'll just breach in and take them all out. For perks, it is stealth operation class, so there actually I can use any of these perks I want, but I don't like to use one man army because it removes my secondary. So Blink Pro, or just Blink rather, could give me an advantage because I will have better aiming stuff on my M4. I can also use Scavenger, so I'm able to be what could we say, behind enemy lines for a longer time. I've got extra ammo, I've got extra C4 and such. But I can also use Sleight of Hand, both make me more effective in combat. Or I could use Marathon, so I can quicker get behind enemy lines. But I only like to use Marathon with submachine gun classes because when you're using a submachine gun, you have better movement, and so this means that you will be able to run faster with the Marathon. So I'm gonna use Sleight of Hand Pro. It will also improve my reloading, and you can actually reload very fast with the M4 and plus Sleight of Hand. Since it is a stealth operation, class, I can either be using Stepping Power Pro, Lightweight, Cold Blood, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and use Cold Blood for this one. Of course, the M4 doesn't have that much stepping power, so I would probably more like to use stepping power, but Cold Blooded, you have that advantage of not showing up in the enemy position, or sorry, not the enemy position, but where the enemy UVs won't see you. And I got the Pro version, so I could actually equip myself with a smoke grenade, and people will be able to just aim with hipfire through the smoke and see if they can find. Since it is a stealth operation, Ninja Pro would obviously be maybe the best choice if you're a beginner and a noob. This is basically the perk that I think is the most powerful one in the game because it removes an advantage or removes a mechanic in the game, which is one of the most and the important ones, the sound. So by standard, I won't use that. Last stand is also I'm also against it, as well as Commando. So right now I'm actually left with Steady Aim, Scrambler, and Separate Pro. And Scrambler will basically reveal my position, since it will jam the enemy, and the enemy will go like, oh, there's a guy with a Scrambler close to me. So I got Steady Aim and Separate Pro left. So what I want to use is basically I'm going to use Separate because it will inform me of enemy explosives, which is good so I won't walk into a trap with claymores, and I'll also be able to hear enemies a lot easier. And Death Streaks, copycat, of course, no wonder why. It's that. So right now I got a still good behind enemy lines class, which also do quite a decent amount of damage. And I got some C4 for sabotage and flash grenades for sabotage as well. So this is basically how you will create a good behind the enemy line class. But if we're gonna make, let's say, more like firepower heavy class, and we'll for example be using a submachine gun for this, then we could for example be using the P90, and since this is a gun class that's gonna be related a lot of firepower and close quarters, I think that too. I'm gonna be using rapid fire, and as always, use a handgun or pistol as your secondary because it will make you both faster, have more maneuverability, and you'll also be able to switch to it faster, so you have better backup. For this one, I want to be running and gunning a lot. So what I'm going to be using is I'm going to, for example, equip myself with claymore so I can cover my back easily. I already got sleight of hand equipped because this will be very important because rapid fire will tear up my magazines so fast, and I'm gonna need the reload time so much because I'll be using up my bullets so fast. I actually forgot the special grenade, and I could, since it is mostly running gunning, I could be using the stun grenade. And for those saying stun grenade is cheap, yes, it is cheaper, but I can tell you sometimes I'd rather get stunned than actually flashed, because a stun grenade will allow me to watch, and if I'm moving my mouse a lot, I can actually still be able to take the enemies. If I'm flashed, there's nothing I can do. And since I'm relating a lot of firepower, I'm gonna use stepping power, and since this is a rapid fire class, steady aim would actually be a good choice too. Or Super Pro, depends on what you would like to use, but steady aim will definitely be a good choice when you have rapid fire on, because your hip fire will definitely increase in power. So now I've shown you two different ideas for classes you can make, and this is basically how you should be thinking about creating your gun class. You should be thinking about what classes would I like to use for different situations, or maybe also the maps. Like for example, Wasteland, Sniper is usually a very common choice, but I also like to use my runner class on that map because I can get quickly around and enemies are usually in the open, so they're pretty easy to pick off anyway. And of course, if the enemy is using a lot of UAVs, counter UAVs, or other kinds of airborne kill streaks, then using an anti-air class would definitely be a good idea. Or just use a class with cold-blooded on, because then you'll basically be hidden from the enemy anyway. So this is basically what you're going to think about. Create classes that works well with different situations, and when you see a new situation, like the enemy uses a lot of stealth, for example, then use your own stealth class, because then they will be just basically going up against stealth. So this is basically what you want to use for creating your own gun class for different situations. I hope you liked this video to make it just a little bit better if you didn't already have this knowledge about how to create gun classes. I'll see you guys if I'm playing with you or making another video. Misa, over and out.